be sitting here in my living room, and this is now 20th of September 2006, and I reckon he's got a story to tell, and he can tell it marvellous. Right, John, come on.
I'd like to tell you about how drink can affect your life. I started drinking from when I was about 18, and I loved drinking. I loved drinking pints of beer, and I loved going for games of darts and stuff like that, and enjoyed life, and I thought it was brilliant. And I was quite happy. I didn't like vodka, I didn't like whiskey, I liked a wee drop of wine now and again, but I enjoyed a pint and stuff like that, and I think it was brilliant. At the age of 29, I met a girl who drank Carlsbergs, and at that time I was drinking Bass Specials. So she moved in with me, and we used to go for carryouts, and she would get cans of Carlsberg, and I would get cans of 50 shillings ale or something like that, some type of beer. And we had a good laugh and we enjoyed ourselves and things. But I started to ask myself, how come she's getting drunk and I'm still sober? And I thought it very strange, and I says, it must be the amount of alcohol that's in her can compared to what's in mine. So I thought to myself, it's not much fun. I enjoyed sitting and drinking with her and having a laugh and stuff. I says, but it's no fair her being drunk all the time and me being sober. I says, so I thought, to hell with it, I'll go on the Carlsberg as well. So I went off for a carry-out and I got her 4 Carlsbergs and I got myself 4 Carlsbergs. But I didn't like them. I drank 1 or 2 or something, and I thought they were horrible. So I just stopped drinking them and I let her drink the other 2 cans. Somebody had mentioned that there was a new strong beer out, and it was called 10 Sugar. And I went over to the shop one night and I seen them on the shelf, and I says to the lassie, can I see one of them cans then? And she let me see it, and I looked at it, and I looked at the alcohol volume on it, and it says 9%. I says, that's the same as what Agnes drinks, the same volume of alcohol. So I'll take a couple of cans of that and we'll try it and see if it's any good. So I got 4 cans of that and I got Agnes 4 cans of Carlsberg. And I went over to her house, well it was my house, she was staying with me, and I tasted these sugar lagers, and they were a bit horrible at first, but they didn't taste as bad as the Callies.
They were sweet, John, weren't they?
They were very sweet. But I ate a lot of sugar anyway. I put a lot of sugar in my tea and stuff like that. I liked sugar and the sweet tooth sort of thing. So I started drinking. I got to love them. I thought they were brilliant. You know what I mean? They were very strong. It's hard to drink them at first. But after a while I got to like them. So she would get drunk and I would get drunk. And I was with Agnes for about 13 or 14 years, maybe 15 years. And in all that time, we drank thousands and thousands of cans of these beers. Sometimes there was 50 cans lying in the flare after a weekend and stuff like that. We were just drinking all the time. And I had all my hangovers and been to the hospital, had been to AA meetings, had done everything. Done classes and a whole lot of things like that about alcohol. Knew everything about it, went to AA meetings, a whole lot of stuff. But I loved these cans so much that I just kept on drinking them. I've seen myself in some situations getting lifted with the police and a whole lot of stuff like that. I've gotten a lot of bother with it, I've never had any money and a whole lot of stuff like that. And I loved these cans so much that I thought food didn't matter, because as far as I knew, there was sort of carbohydrates or something in the can or whatever, and you never really felt hungry, because you just felt drunk. Sometimes you ate stuff, you know, you'd a roll or something. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you were off it a couple of days, you get your appetite back and you were in dinners and all the rest of it. But the longer you drink them, the more you get. You just love them that much. You don't want anything else. If you've got £3 you're going to buy 2 cans, they cost £1.50. So you make a choice, you say, I'm hungry, so I could get 1 can and I could get maybe a couple of rolls and slices or something like that. But you never ever got the rolls and slices because you wanted the 2 cans. And if you'd only money for 1 can, there was no chance that you get anything on this planet, because that was all you were going to get was a can. And you didn't need to worry about hunger. A can didn't get you drunk or that, but it helped, it made you feel a bit better, it cheered you up. So you didn't really need food. If you didn't lying about the house, that was fine. If you went over to Brady's and she beat you something to eat, that was fine. You were getting a bit to eat somewhere. So you weren't going to die of starvation and that. I wasn't putting on any weight, I was losing weight. But I was skinny anyway. I just thought I was always the same. But, so I'd been, all in, I've been drinking super lagers, I would say for about 30 years. And I'd done a lot of mathematics on it, and I counted up how many cans I'd actually drunk over the years. And what I discovered was amazing. Because I was saying, if I bought 3 cans every night, 7 days a week, that's 21 cans. But sometimes you drunk 24 cans a week, or sometimes it was more. But on an average, I call it 24, which is a case.
And you worked out yourself, John, didn't you?
I worked out myself. So that was a case of super lagers I was drinking a week. There's 52 weeks in a year.
So many things is in a case, John? 24? Right.
50 cases are 24 cans of super lager. That was a year. So if you multiply up by 30, I can't count it up at the top of my head.
I know.
But it's a lot of cases. And the best way to look at it, to make it easier for people to understand, is that I've been off it 2 years. It's come up for 3 years, but we'll say 2 years. So if I was drinking 3 cans a night, which was a case a week, which is 52 cases a year, it's 104 cases. That's what I haven't drunk. So if you look at 104 cases, and there's 24 cans in a case, and it's 9% volume, how much alcohol is that you've drunk that I haven't drunk in the last 2 years? And where would I be now? Would I still be here?
Don't think so.
I wouldn't have been off it at all. I'd have been still going straight through. And my liver, at the time, my pancreas was damaged in my liver. I couldn't imagine my liver was...
But the doctor never told you that, John,
no,
did he?
The doctor never says that I'd been in hospital because of my pancreas. But he never says my liver was bad. I wasn't going yellow or anything like that. And the reason for that is because I never drunk spirits in my life. Where the other guys would have super lagers and cans of beer, they would drink anything. They would drink cider, they would drink wine, they would drink... I've been with people that's drunk hair lacquer, Bel Air hair lacquer. I've been with people...
You're joking?
I've been with people that... I used to drink with a woman and man every day, and that's what they drunk. They used to put water into a glass. No, what they done was they bought a half bottle of wine, and they pour half of the wine into the glass, and then they would put in the hair lacquer.
You're joking, John, you never told me that.
Oh, this is for years.
You never told me that.
And the hair lacquer would, you've seen, but like, hair lacquer is, if you can imagine, if you put it on, is some... to give you an example, I was in jail with a guy who was drinking hair lacquer. And see, when he was sick, he had to pull it out with his hands. The whole vomit he had to pull out with his hands. And that's what a hair lacquer done. And I drunk with them for, I don't know, over a year. But I didn't fancy it. But the point I'm trying to make is that the normal alcoholics, the average alcoholic, they were alcoholics the same as me, but I loved super lagers so much that I didn't need anything else. I didn't need wine, I didn't need ciders, and I didn't like the taste of them. I liked the wine. I've drunk quite a lot of bottles of wine in my time. But I've never drunk cider, and I've never drunk whiskey, vodka, or anything like that. So if you take in statistics that I've told you, if that's 104 cases that I haven't drunk, and the amount of alcohol it is, that's just for 2 years. How much and how many cases and how many cans do you think I've drunk in 30 years? And that doesn't really matter, because see, if it was more or less, I'd either be dead. But what's up with me now? I went to the doctor this night with my sister, and because I've been in problem with my memory for the past 2 years. And it was just started after, I was forgetting things and stuff like that. And it wasn't really a problem. It's only, I would say, in the last year, it's a last year and a half or 2 years when it actually started. And I went to Prague last year, and it was really terrible because it was taking me 2 hours to leave my room. And the only thing that was in the room was 2 single beds, 2 wardrobes, a couple of drawers, a shelf and a television. And it took me 2 hours to go out of there, to go and get my taxi to catch my plane.
How did it take you 2 hours, John?
Well, I'm going to tell you how it took me 2
Right.
hours. And you're going to find it very hard to believe. What I was doing was, I had taken everything in my pocket and put it on the table. And I said, right, I'm going to put these things in my pocket, make sure I've got my passport, make sure I've got everything. I know all my clothes and all my belongings are in the case because I can't find anything else. So I'm ready. I was ready 2 hours ago to go down the stair. I've got plenty of time, but I was going to go down and sit and maybe get a dinner or something. But I'm in the room anyway, and I put all these into my pockets, and I say to myself, did I lift my lighter? Have I got my lighter? Because I need my lighter, because I'll need a smoke and stuff. So I start taking everything out of my pocket, and I put some down, and I says, I've got my lighter. So I put that back into my pocket, and I've got my lighter. Where's my mobile? So I start getting in pockets, and well, a mobile's quite big, you can pick that out. But when you're looking for keys and wee things, but it ended up, I was taking everything out and putting it back in, and I was lost things. I could have lost a cow in that room, and that's the way it was. It was right, I swear to God, I could have lost a cow in it. I swear it. And I'd have been hunting under the bed and everything, and I'd never seen it. Well, that's what it was like. And I was walking over and I was checking in the drawer, and I was laying something down here, and I forgot where I left it. I left it on the bed, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it, and it just kept going on and on and on like that. And I was near greeting. It was terrible. It was terrifying, because I thought if I missed my plane and all the rest of it, how am I going? I was just panicking and all that. And it wouldn't stop. It just kept going on. And as I was taking stuff out of my pocket and putting them back in, I was saying, but I better get checked, see if I've got my passport, and I need my keys, and you're just pulling it, and it just kept going on and on and on. That was the worst experience, and it was really frightening. And when I come back, I just started losing things. I was losing things. I was losing mobile phones. I was laying stuff on buses. I was laying stuff in shops. I was laying everything. And I didn't realise I had a great problem. And I would say that's about a year ago. That's about a year ago. But it was
Last
bad.
September, John.
But it was bad. And I didn't really bother about it because, you know, it was my life, it was bothering me. But I didn't know how bad it was. And I just got on with my life. But it was getting worse and worse. there was things I was doing up at the transport, and Christine would maybe ask me to go and get her something, and maybe she'd ask me to deliver a letter. I've left hundreds of letters in the van that Christine had asked me to post and all the rest of it. I've done that hundreds of times.
What did you forget?
Just forget, please. And she would send me down to the bank, and I would put her wages into the bank and then have a receipt, and I never ever gave them because I forgot every time that I just forgot. It was in my wallet or something. But anyway, and the drivers then noticed how bad it was getting now because we're going to pick people up. And I know them off by heart. I've been working for about 12 years or something. I was forgetting who was to come out of college, who went up Friday. You've got to remember where these kids are all going and stuff like that.
What, did you start to forget all that, John?
I was forgetting that.
You never told me.
You know what I mean? And Roy and the drivers were all saying to me, "But John, you brought them up on Monday.
Aye.
You must know who you brought up on Monday."
Aye.
I says, "I can't remember." And then maybe Caroline was going to, she was going to the McPherson Centre.
Aye.
And we had to pick her up on a Monday. And I would forget and I would leave her. We'd go way down, we'd drop everybody off and we'd say, "John, you're away without Caroline." I mean, I should never forget that.
No, because that's good you love, John.
And there's a whole lot of things like that goes on. My memory was just getting worse and worse and worse. So anyway, Bridie was getting drove up and mad. She was up the wall with us because I was forgetting everything in the morning. I couldn't, it took me 10 minutes to find the stuff and then it took me half an hour. So Bridie says, "What we'll start doing is, you lay your stuff on the table in the morning and we'll take them all off as you put them in your pocket and make sure you've got everything." So after I found everything I was looking for, I brought it in. And every morning Bridie would say, "Right, John, in your keys, put it in my pocket, blah, blah, blah." And it was going great because I had everything out in the morning. I didn't need to say to the driver, "I went out with the bag, oh Christ, I've left my phone," because that was happening every morning. It was getting worse. There was not one morning that I didn't forget any. I always forgot something. Maybe it was one thing, two things. I went out the other night, and I was getting into the Hibs. I was going to walk into the Hibs and get a can of ginger beer or something. Just it was a lot, you know, I'd been just back for a funeral and all the rest of it. I thought maybe if I get in there, it would cheer me up a bit, get a wee laugh in that. And I got as far as the swings out at Glasgow Road there. And I says, "Did I bring my phone?" I said, "Christ, I've left it in the house. I'll leave my phone." I said, "Did I bring my wallet?" To get a can of ginger. No wallet. Did I bring my keys in my pockets? No keys. And I was just the other day and I said, "That's 3 things on my way out with it." And but the last couple of days has been a nightmare because I've just been losing everything and I've been forgetting everything. I've been forgetting what people told me. Sometimes I'm sitting talking to people. I got my Paddy's and I'm sitting saying to Paddy, I was looking after this boy today and he went in and see that, you know, and telling him a story. And I would just stop and they'd say, "What's that? Is it John?" I said, "Paddy, what are we talking about?" He says, "John, you're talking about, do you remember it?" I says, "No, Paddy." I said, "I haven't a clue." And I started, even when I was doing my security at night, sitting in there, you know, I was forgetting everything. If I even forget you the story I was going to tell you. But I've got to tell you this story. This is a funny story you've ever heard.
Right.
I was on the security at West Station and I went over to Hadders to get a bottle of ginger beer, a packet of crisps and a tilly. So I goes over to Hadders. There's a guy standing in front of me getting served. I takes over my ginger beer and my crisps and my tilly or whatever. And the guy says to the lassie behind the counter, "If you get a big lighter, one of them, you know, hanger lighters, what do you call them? one of them thing with clipper lighters.
Ah, clipper, aye.
And the lassie says, aye, and she gives him it. And I pats him on the shoulder and I says, listen mate, I want to thank you for that. He says, thank me for what? I says, for remembering me to get a lighter. I says, because I'm working for now, till 8 o'clock in the morning. And when his shops are shut, and I'm sitting in, or whatever,
You no got a lighter?
I've not got a lighter. And I don't want to sit all night without a lighter, because I'll be gassing. He says, listen mate, he says, I'm glad to some help you. He says, that, no problem. So I says to the lassie, I gave her a ginger beer and the crisps and the tilly, and they gave her a fiver and she gave me my change. And I went out of the hut, and I started taking everything out of my pocket, and I said, right, that's my keys, that's my phone, that's the tilly, right, where's my lighter? I forgot to ask the guy for a fucking lighter. And I'm thanking this guy for remembering me. No, take away with it. I paid for the tilly and all that. I went and paid the fucking lighter. But, so things like that. A lot of funny things that are very good like that. It's even worse now. Christine will say something, and I'll just forget what she was talking about. All the boys are up killing themselves laughing.
But they're not really, John.
I was telling her about Ella, my twin sister. She gives a phone call, says she might have Korsakoffs disease, and there's a great possibility of that. Because I didn't start drinking superlagers till 29 years old. I'm not saying that the beer didn't do any harm, I don't know, but I knew I was an alcoholic. No, I wasn't an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic.
Oh, come on, make up your mind, John. You were or you weren't?
That's when I admitted to myself.
Aye.
That's the first time I was told by other alcoholics that I drunk all my life that the only cure for alcoholism is it's yourself, it's your own self-belief and your own confidence, and to say that I can do it and I'm going to do it. But see, I forget what the story was that we were talking about.
Ah, but come on, John, you've got to give yourself a wee bit kind of praise here.
I know.
You've got to give yourself a wee bit kind of praise. What did you do?
Okay.
You went into the hospital, John.
Oh, aye, but I was telling the story before. I forget it.
You forget?
Oh, was it a rest station about the...
But give yourself a wee bit of praise, John. Don't run yourself
Was it a
down.
rest station? But no, it would nothing to do with the rest station. But anyway, so, I discovered when I was an alcoholic when I was 29 years old. And that's when I first admitted it. And what I was told was, admitting that you're an alcoholic is the greatest thing you can do, because at least you know what your problem is. If you don't understand that you've got a problem, you don't think you've got a problem, you've not got a cure for it, you'll always believe. If you tell yourself you're right, accept you're an alcoholic, and that's you halfway towards a cure. But there isn't any cure for alcoholism. When you're an alcoholic for life.
Aye.
You can't sort of say, I've been off it 3 years, and somebody says,
Coming up 3 years,
you're
John.
an alcoholic. I'll say I'm still, I'll always be an alcoholic, you know. But it's great to be off it. But I swear to God, if I knew I was going to be the way I'm now, I wouldn't have stopped drinking. I would have rather died maybe 5 or 6 years later with cirrhosis of the liver. Because I didn't know that when you stayed off a drink for 2.5 years, and you're going to start having memory loss problems and all that. Because I'd never heard of Korsakoffs disease. I'd heard of Alzheimer's, because I worked with them all the time. And me and Brady worked with me. When I just started doing voluntary work, the first job I done was with Brady, and she worked with a group called Arthritis Care, or dementia, sorry, it was a dementia group.
Alzheimer's group.
Alzheimer's and dementia group. And I used to go out there and pick up wheelchairs.
John, I told you the day.
We'd be taking them to John Galt House and that.
Aye.
And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And Brady says, John, you could be doing this all the time. instead of standing at corners drink. I'm not saying you're not to drink, you can drink, but if you don't drink during the day, you know what I mean?
Aye.
You'd be doing great, you'd be doing fine. And I didn't drink during the day. Well, I'm a liar. Sometimes I come in drunk, I'd sneaked a can in, and I remember a few times I would do it on the van, because I was an alcoholic, I couldn't help myself. But I managed majority of times, because I loved my job so much, that I could wait till 4 o'clock. And the thing too was, see if I waited till 4 o'clock, see the money that I would have spent during the day if I hadn't have been working, I'd been done. So I started at 4 o'clock, and I had stolen my fiver. Whereas if I just says I'm not going to work, I'd be done for half 9 and 10. You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
I loved it, because I used to get in the mix and had my fiver. Maybe some old woman in the mirror, she'll sit and pay you £1. You know? And they didn't realise how happy they were making you. You know, oh, poor boy, he's a volunteer, he doesn't get a penny for doing that.
But John, wait a minute, turn the thingies about. Did you make them happy?
Listen, I can honestly say, without fear of contradiction, I made them people to me were special, elderly people, and they were...
Who nurtured you, John? Who nurtured you?
You did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did. Because I knew you could do it.
You can't take away what's in your heart. It's your heart that done this.
I know.
Because I used to treat them as individual. Everybody was special. And I treated them individually. And I seen every one of them as being special. And I treated them that way. And I loved them. And they loved me. And what more can you ask for out of a job? Who needs money when you can get love?
But the thing is, John, the thing is,
I had them howling all the time.
I done that myself, but their families were still suffering.
Me not, I know that, Brady. But the thing is, Brady, these elderly people, years and years ago, they didn't have resource centres and things like that. And elderly people, Brady, stayed at home on their own. John,
excuse me, we're not talking about elderly people.
No, but what I'm just saying...
We're talking about you.
Right, okay, right.
So get back on you and you... Right, make me a smoke.
Right, the drink.
Just give me a wee thing. I mean, the transport's wonderful, and we went through the thing, so you come into transport, we know that.
So I come into transport.
You're into transport and you've worked there for... How long are you there now, John?
I don't know, it's been 13 years.
Aye! It must be 13 years. And you're still there. And you'll still be there.
I put it before anything. I put it before my security work. And I've said to Bill Boyle, maybe I shouldn't say him, but I've said to him, as far as the transport work goes, it's not negotiable, none, you know what I mean? The transport comes first, because I love doing that, and the money doesn't really matter, because it's...
You make my roll up, John?
You're caring for people.
Aye, of course, yeah.
You love what you're doing, and plus you can still get a good drink when you're finished work, and we can have a great time. Well anyway, that's what I used to do.
You don't get a good drink. You don't drink.
No, I'm saying then. And I used to get the mix at night, and it was Uncle Ben would be there, and Big Tom would be there, and Chris would be there sometimes. And it was fantastic. Me and Big Tom, we used to sit, he was my best mate. Well, I didn't really know Chris that well this time, but Chris was brilliant. Because I met Chris in the Hibs. And
if it's going to be a bit off, it's because I'm...
Well, the drink, anyway, so I drank all my life, and it was that. And now I've went to the doctors, and the doctor says that...
Right, John, please.
My sister, who'd been getting stuff on the computer, she got...
No, off the internet,
she got it off the internet, everything about Korsakoffs disease. And she was saying to the doctor the reason why she thought I had Korsakoffs disease. And she told me about all the stuff that was happening to me, where I was forgetting all this there. And and she was saying to the doctor that it's not the alcohol that's causing the problem. It's when I never ate, I used to never ate. I used to eat maybe 5 packets of them wee pot noodles. I'd buy 5 of them every day in a week.
John, would you like to give me a light, please?
And well, that's what I used to do. That's why sometimes I didn't eat anything at all because you were sick all the time. You were spewing into basins and all that. So your stomach was empty all the time. And that's where the problem comes in now. Because your brain needs a vitamin called vitamin B.
Vitamin B.
Vitamin B. And without that vitamin B, there's a certain part of your brain to do with your memory and stuff like that. Well, you've been starving that for all them years. You've been starving of this vitamin or this thing that makes the memory work, keeps the memory going.
That's the vitamin B.
That's the vitamin B that does that. And because you haven't been getting that vitamin for all them years and all that time, that is now that when you can have a drink, you're starting to get the effects.
After a couple of years, John, that's when it starts to affect you.
That's when it starts to affect you, doesn't it? So I'm saying, I wish to God I kept on drinking. Okay, my memory might have been getting a bit bad because I think it was when I think my memory was a wee bit going away when I was drinking. But it'd still be a lot better than you, I think. I'd be suffering hangovers and maybe my liver would be bad and stuff like that.
No, John.
No, I don't think
You'd be dead.
I think, well, I don't.
You'd be dead.
I might be dead.
You would be dead.
But anyway.
But it's Korsakoff, John, that can be curtailed and it can be slowed down.
I know all that, Brady.
Aye.
Well,
So in other words, I'm interviewing my brother now and we're in at the doctor's today, 20th of
and I'm going to
September.
tell you, Brady, I worked with a couple of clients with Korsakoff's disease.
So,
I'm not going to mention their name.
no, John, I know a few myself.
But she was an alcoholic. And something happened in her family, and she just started drinking worse and worse and worse. And she'd been drinking, she hadn't been eating and all that stuff. She never ate nothing. So then she stopped drinking, and her brain started, her memory started going, and Barbara's still,
Aye.
she's still there.
I used to pick Barbara up myself, John,
Aye. But
doing it at the crematorium.
that's what she's
Aye. She got Korsakoffs, aye.
Aye.
I will see when I was doing that, I didn't know she'd Korsakoffs.
Because I worked with her, I could see everything that was going on. I used to take her for meals and I used to take her in the pubs, which I wasn't supposed to do. But
Don't see
if she's-
anything untoward on the video, John.
so if she's got this illness which can't be cured, and maybe her life's not going to.
I don't think Barbara's got Korsakoffs, John.
Well, Brady, I worked with the lassie and I seen her layers.
The one that's run from the crematorium?
No.
All right, sorry.
Brady, I'm
Sorry.
talking about when I was doing the care work. When I
All
was
right.
working with clients myself,
Right.
and I used to take Barbara out,
All right, aye.
and I used to take her into the pub, and I used to get her heavy tops, and we'd be sitting there, and maybe I would take 1 pint or something, that's what. Sometimes I took 2, but anyway, because the way it works out, her sister used to leave the money, which was about £11, and that was for the meal. I wasn't to get her a drink. So most of the times I was paying for the drink to get her a drink, which didn't bother me because I loved her company. She was great and we had great laughs and everything. But sometimes she would ask me to get her a half, and I would say, Barbara, look, you know, I've not to get you a drink and that. Oh, John, get me a wee half. But I didn't have the heart to say no, and I wouldn't do it anyway. It's not my nature, because me being an alcoholic, I know what it's like when you're screaming for a drink. And she was screaming for a drink. So I got her a half. And once she got her a half, well, you know what comes after that. She wants another one. And I got her another one. And I got her another one.
John,
What?
we are not talking about
Anyway,
clients.
anyway,
Then I could sit here
like
till
that.
6 o'clock in the morning
Right,
talking
definitely
about
better
clients.
because, right,
So,
anyway.
how do you feel now?
Well, the God's honest truth is, I'm a bit concerned about it because after I get a brain scan, if I get
Do you not feel a wee bit more content now, John?
No, not really.
Why no? Because I do.
Because I just feel that whatever this is, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And the only thing is, what's bothering me is how quick it's going to do that. When I get these tablets tomorrow, hopefully they'll sort of hold it to where it is.
And they've all joined.
I can cope with that. But if I wasn't to take these tablets, I wouldn't be able to cope with it because it seems to be racing faster and faster. And I believe that's the way it would go if I didn't take these tablets.
Well, you need to take them.
Well,
And I'll
I'm going to
make
take-
sure you will. I will make sure you will.
I don't foresee a great future for if my memory. If my memory doesn't, if it gets any worse at all than what it is right at this moment in time, if it gets any worse than that, I don't think I'm going to have a great life.
John, it'll stop. It will. It will.
Well, aye, but
If you
the
take your
way my
medicine,
memory is just now, that's not going to clear up. You know, that's not going away.
John, it'll start again.
Righty.
It will start again, John.
What I'll do is, I'll just take each day as it comes. And if it gets
Aye,
bad, it gets
I
bad.
got it. But it can be slowed down. And see if it's slowed down, you'll be alright. What did the doctor say to you?
Well,
You keep working.
aye, keep,
Aye, aye.
but
Keep doing your volunteer work.
Nobody would stop me for doing that anyway. The doctor wouldn't stop me.
You'll stimulate your brain anyhow, John.
Nobody would stop me doing volunteer.
No, I know. No, you can.
Aye, if I've got to. If I felt, Brady, that my memory was getting that bad, where I might put a wheelchair on a bus and forget.
Aye, I know.
See the day I start doing things like that,
Aye,
I think I'm a danger to anybody,
I know
whether it's
that.
a client I
Aye.
work with, or anything like that.
John, you started the ball rolling. You started it yourself.
Aye, I did because I
You
knew-
started it
I knew
yourself.
how bad it was getting.
Aye.
I knew
So
that.
you started the ball rolling.
Aye, well, I asked you to come Wednesday.
Aye.
But the point is, maybe if I still didn't know, well, I don't know exactly what's wrong with, but maybe if I didn't go to the doctors, well, what like would have been 6 months' time? Would have been worse than what I knew.
Of
And
course.
I think I would be.
Oh, for God's sakes, John. You would be.
So,
You started
there's a
it. John, you
possibility.
have done it yourself.
there's a possibility, if I'd have went to a doctor and tell him then that I was as bad as what I was, but I didn't tell him that. I just went in and says, Doctor, my memory's bad. And he says, well, you were drinking sugar like us for 30 years, what do you expect? And I said, right, that's fine. And whatever I was in, you know. Because I was actually in for something else, which I can't remember.
Aye.
But I would say to him, Doctor, by the way, my memory's pretty bad. He said, what do you mean you forget? I says, aye, but I mean, everybody forgets things. But this was, you know, a wee bit sort of, it was bothering me because I seem to be forgetting something every day. 3 times a day or 4. You know, I was just forgetting, but it wasn't too bad.
I think it was a wee bit.
But that was
I think it was a wee bit taken aback today, John, and all.
Aye.
When I said to him about the
Because
Korsakoffs.
I don't think he realised that I was as bad as that. Because when you gave me them tests, and well, I passed a couple. But
A day?
I passed a couple, didn't I?
What did you pass?
I thought I passed that one about the thing, what do you call it?
The name and address?
I never passed that one.
No.
But see them numbers, Brady, that's pretty good. I'm a mathematician.
John, if you go for
I thought-
100
I know.
and just go,
Right, I'll try it again, right? And I promise you I'll not cheat.
right, 100?
Right.
Oh,
100.
John, wait a minute, I'm no that hungry, I'm no
Right, if they,
that great numbers.
but anybody,
Right, 100
anybody
take
was-
7 half.
right. Well, I'll tell you what, the two's will do.
Or it would take me,
Right. But, Brady, see,
right, 100
See,
take
with my
7
brain-
half.
see when my brain was working right, I could run right doing that in about
Aye,
5
I know.
seconds. But I'll try it again, right? You
Aye,
start
because it wouldn't go for
you
flat
start to 100,
A5s.
Brady, and you take 7 half, which is 93,
Mhm.
right? 93, and then it's 86, and then it's 77, and then it's 60, no, 64. And if you take 7 half of 64, it's 57. You take 57, it's 49. Oh, for God's sake.
Do you,
Yeah.
I would imagine you go back to your 7 times table.
But see, I would have got up right there. I mean, I should have done that in 2 seconds flat.
You would have done
I
it in
would have
2
done it in
seconds flat.
I would have.
Minus 7,
And I've got
minus
to tell
7,
you a
minus
story,
7.
Brady. I've got to tell you a story about Saturday. I was doing the crosswords, right? As you know, I do crosswords, and I'm good at them. It's just as plain and simple as that. I mean, I don't mean I'm clever, I'm just good at this crossword because I've been doing it for the last, I don't know, 10 years. Me and Benny used to argue. Sometimes he was right, sometimes I was right. But when I was doing the crosswords now, I'm saying to myself, now I would finish that in 2 minutes or 10 minutes, innit? But how come I can't do it now? I'm not finished now.
You never told me that, John.
I've got 11 there, still to get. And I'm looking at them and I know the answers. I swear to fuck, Brady. I know the answers, teacher. Sometimes it's 20 and I can see them and I can see the clues and I know the answers.
And you can't remember
But I
them.
can't remember it. And I know I can see it. I can see the whole crossword done. The crossword's fucking done because the answer's there, I can see it. But I don't remember what the words were. No, I mean, that's amazing. Fucking amazing. So, that's something else. You know what I mean? And the football, was Celtic daft. Celtic crazy. I don't even know they're playing. I've got to say to Roy, who's playing tonight? He'll say Celtic's playing fucking Motherwell.
Who was playing tonight, John?
Celtic was, no, it was last night. Celtic won 2-0.
No, I'm saying who was playing tonight?
Rangers and something.
What was the score?
Was it 2-0? I think
It was 2 nothing, aye.
I was 2-0. Right. But see with the football I have, I'm asking a question, and I don't even know, which I should know. I mean, if Celtic's playing, I normally phone up Christine, I'm saying, Christine, I'm forgetting the game's even on, I don't even know the game's on, and I'm phoning up, and before that I'm phoning up Christine and saying, what do you think of that, Christine? Fucking Celtic too, blah blah blah. You know, and stuff like that, all the time. I don't even know they're playing. See, on a Saturday, I don't even know who they're playing. I've got to ask somebody who they're playing, I've got to see a paper, and stuff like that. Just forget everything.
Ah, well,
But anyway,
that's from today, Shona boy.
I'm going to
You'll get your vitamin B, strong tablets tomorrow,
oh,
and I'll make sure that you take them.
shit, you've got my fucking feet falling asleep.
So can I say thank you very much for this interview?
It was a pleasure. And I hope someday, if I'm dead, I hope somebody learns something by that.
With the ball?
because everything I've told you is fact.
Oh,
And I feel sorry for alcoholics who do not, and I promise you this, and I've always felt it all my life. Since the day I knew I was an alcoholic, I used to get people, she watched people drinking all the time, and they'd say, look, I'm not an alcoholic. I like a good drink, but I'm not an alcoholic. But he's drinking fucking 7 cans of super lager at night. And he's drinking wine, he's drinking cider and everything. And he's not an alcoholic. So my advice to anybody is, if you've been drinking 4 or 5 years or 2 years, just ask yourself, how many pints is that in 2 years?
is that for you, Catherine, isn't you?